Okay, so in the last couple of videos, we worked on an agent that can attack an avatar and it will actually dish out damage. Let's take a look at how this works. To review, we have a loop that runs on the leader. It's created by resume. So every 100 milliseconds we see take some action if you're the leader. And there's a concept of a lock, which means if you're already in the middle of doing something, this bump to execute something will be avoided. And this start leader event loop is what's listening to the event. So whenever you get this update signal, I guess there's no other signal, so what the value is doesn't matter. And we can even do this, I think. Here. It will see if there's an avatar directly in front of you, and if so, attack. And this is just for us to play an animation. This will emit an attack event, and listening to the attack event is this, in which case we release the lock and then we create a damage event. So when we're attacking, actually, I don't think we need to actually create the damage event here, because when we listen to the attack event, we will emit a damage event. And then when we receive a do we receive a damage event? No, we don't. Okay, so we create a damage event. And the problem here now is that even after you're dead, which is observed by the space server, so if we receive member damaged, what's the type again? Member damage, yeah, space server damage. Huh. Oh, does it happen in space? Oops. Channel damage. Okay, this just caches it. The value of the damage caches it into the ETS table. And we broadcast to everyone, it looks like. Okay, so this determines death. So you're updating the new health into the table, and then when the health gets down to 0, you broadcast to everyone that the member has died. Okay. And member damaged, it doesn't say how much the member is damaged by. This is the only thing that's keeping track of it, and that's not being forwarded to anyone else, even though member damaged as a message, I think goes to everyone else, does it not? Okay, the problem I'm trying to solve is that even after that emits member is dead, the agent doesn't care. The agent still says, oh, there's somebody in front of me, I'm going to continue to attack them. And that's kind of annoying. After we've announced that we're dead, why are we still being attacked? We should at least be left alone until we respawn. And the respawn happens at space manager or scene manager member died, and here it will wait 5 seconds and then respawn them. Okay. So I think we could remedy this by listening for a member died message, in which case we can blacklist them. Or we already have this member states which receives this health for everybody. Now, is it important for us to know everyone's health? This was really just to get it to the gen server. We're not actually updating the health when other people are getting hit. I would say you don't really need to know their health bar very much. I don't think it's too important to show that at this time. So one way was to consider looking at their health. The agent could peek into the avatar health and say, oh, if your health is 0, I'm not going to attack you. But it might just be easier if agent keeps another list for avatar deaths. So if somebody's died, maybe you're keeping track of all the members. But then you have to keep track of when they respawn, they're okay. You have to keep track of an object list, and we already have an object list here. So this thing could keep track of death, just maybe not in here, because this is the state that we're passing to the gen server. But maybe it's okay just to add another field to it. We could just add death or alive is true, or perhaps status. Active, true, and inactive. Yeah, maybe a state is more flexible. Your state is golden, so you're playing, and then your state is active, and your state is suspended. Died, respawning, perhaps. Okay, so what is this state? This state is, let's see, members is a member state, and this is defined as this. So perhaps we could say that a member state can have a status, and this is active or inactive for now. Trying to avoid the word death here. Member state. And then we'll set a default, so we can go into member states. So when we set our default here, we'll set that your status is active by default, and then if you don't see this member, then we'll say status active here. Okay, and then when we listen for a death, we can say that their status is inactive. We don't want to delete them. We want to set their status. So the gen server, or space channel server, will emit member died with the member ID, and it sends it to everybody. So in member states, which runs on everybody, we can sense that event. So we're checking member died here, and we can say okay, we're emitting that this person died, but we can also merge state this merge state event member ID and give the okay, we don't have the new state, so we want to not merge state, but we want to update something. Update this, update my nickname. So what are these things called? These call, oh, merge this thing into my state. Okay, yeah, we can use that. Merge status as inactive into the state. And then do we listen to respawn? Respawn, we do not. So remember that scene manager is sending an outgoing event to everyone but myself. Remember respond. I think we can send it to ourself as well. So here we were just moving ourselves, so we didn't really need that message. But yeah, we can just take some more time and allow a more generic, or perhaps they could click a button and then send us to the spawn point. So in order for us and everyone to receive the respond in the space server, we need to have an explicit handle cast, because the default handle cast is to only broadcast to others. So we would need to say, we need to create a member respond event. So right now, died is sent to everybody, so we don't need this thing. And died didn't even change. Oh, this only sent it outward. I don't think this is sent as an inward event. Like, we never get this message. This is sent to the channels, but not to okay, we want to set the health, but I think we should actually do a process event. Is anyone doing a process? Yeah, we should do something like this. Handle in event, and then we send it off to the gen server. So if we're creating the event, we need to also do this. So in this health, we need to not do this, but do this. Process event, socket assign space ID, event payload coming from self. Actually, just tell everybody. You need to tell everybody. So just pass in nil. And this is the event payload. Copy. Member died. And send that to everybody. Is that correct? How are we using process above? Event payload gives you the event atomized event. Event payload is event, and then the O is going to have the M and the P and everything. Which is correct. I think is correct. So we go process event, and then we want that to broadcast to everyone. So when we go to space server, process event, which is this thing, is map. 2 times space ID event atomized event. There's a 4 and a 3. And which one are we using? We're using the 3. Okay, so this is expecting the raw version of that. And this is expecting the atomized version of it. Then you'll create the atomized event, and the PID. Because duplicate event expects payload. I'm going to convert that and then say integer. So it's expecting the integer version of it. Okay. And then the completely atomized payload. And so if you use this version 3, it actually converts it to this version and then uses this version. We can use this one directly. So we'll go to space channel and use the atomized event, which is member died, and you still get this version of it, which is that's fine. So when it gets to space server, it will get converted into this event, which is handled by handle cast. So if member died, what do you want to do to the state? We already have the health set to 0. We can just set the state to be inactive, and everybody update that state. So since we already took the PID out, it will broadcast to everybody anyway. So even if you did nothing here, it's probably good to you could say status becomes inactive. Then it'll just broadcast die to everyone. It doesn't actually share the status. It'll broadcast to everyone that the member died. We'll have to listen to it. In member states. So we listen to that, and then we also set it to be inactive. Health isn't too important here. And then we say that that person died, and then scene manager for now is setting a new outgoing event that the member respond. Okay, so if we set this outgoing as member respond, we could listen to that in space channel and then say we're updating its gen server table. Why did we decide to do some of it here in space channel? Because member damaged was coming directly from us. Member moved is my movement. Cache members about respond. cache members, member entered. So we didn't want to go through having all this traffic and member movements to overwhelm the gem server, so we just kind of divvied it up, and each space channel asynchronously modify the ETS table, I suppose is the reason. It didn't change any state on the space server itself. So you're updating members. But here you have to do this to record the event. If you didn't do this, it wouldn't record any death. So this is correct. You want to send out for history that the member died. The member dies and then it's broadcast to everyone. Then the front end decides when to respawn. Sends it. This will get recorded as history. It'll get processed here first. So when is cache members called? Cache members. When you handle in. Okay, so you're handling this and you're sending the event out to be forwarded, but you might want to update the table. Okay, so if you respawn, you set the new, you're updating the position rotation and you're updating the state, so health of this, and then I can set the status to be active again. And then when you respawn, you will send it out to everyone else. But yourself. Let's send it to ourself as well. So in scene manager, space server. We'll do member respond. And we have to do something. We have to do this to explicitly say handle event and broadcast to everyone. So we're going to say, tell everyone that it's respond. So it requires the state and the tuple. And therefore, since we're waiting for this to respawn ourselves in the scene manager, we shouldn't do this yet. We'll just say cast that out, and then this will actually send out everywhere. Let's grab this comment too, and we'll listen to a member respond, which will go into our event incoming part. Or we can listen to it in avatar. Construct with the avatar manager, or what's causing, like, let's see, do we have avatar? Yeah, we do have avatar manager. So member entered, member move, member respond. Payload avatar, is this create avatar, avatar pose. So are we already doing this? What does create avatar do? If this member ID, then return it. Otherwise, if it's new avatar, so it just finds the avatar. And then let's see, respawn, and then it will pose it. So payload for this, it will pose it, which is to avatar pose is to move the camera a certain way. So you'll pose. So if you have a head, stop previous animations, left pose, right pose, so pose, right. Okay, if you have a head. Else. Then the head pose is what? A pause rot. And are we setting the right point? Because this is the head position we're expecting. And so if we're doing the teleport from scene manager, respawn, spawn point is on the floor. So we kind of undo this, is that we want the spawn point and the camera position copy from floats would be, okay, so we want this is actually the new pause. Let pause equal this. So we don't need the cam. And cam, okay, spawn point rot. Okay, so we'll give a new pause rot, which will be pause, which is pause, and rotation, which will be spawn point rot, rot. And you can just say pause. we can just do dot dot dot, but override the pause. Oh, the whole thing, yeah, like that. So we're emitting that the member respond to everyone, and then we're listening in Avatar Manager that a respawn happen, and then posing them according to this pause drop. Now let's just check to see if this works. Pause here. Tide. Do I respawn? I respond. Okay, so far I think it works. I think I do get double attack though. Maybe not. It seems fine. But that seems all in order. The next thing I want to test is to see if this new status that I added on the member state will be received by other clients. So if I just temporarily pause out this thing, which will respawn them, resetting their health, then they'll stay dead. So let me just pause this whole thing here. There is no life after death. And then I can check it on myself first. Let's see if I come and check my own. KU whatever. Okay, so my status became inactive. Very good. And if somebody joins, we look at K. This is of course inactive in my own state. So I died over here as well. And if I look over here, the SM, okay, I'm informed of their status as well. So what I think I can do now, oops, I can argument is not an atom. Error not found on something space channel. Let's say cache member damaged, previous state, and merge state. case error blank insert socket assigns member state. I don't know what the other error is, but if you get error not found, and then don't do anything. You need this? Yeah, you need it. Anyway, so you can put this back, live after 5 seconds. Agent, going back to agent should stop attacking. So we want to say eligible avatar location. So you get all avatar head positions. Okay, so one is this camera position. So we want to check the health. So we can say member states So first we're checking ourselves, and then we check every other avatar by mesh. And grabbing these positions are okay. This is an object. So we can first get so ignore inactive members. So we can say member states members. And this is an object, so we want their keys. Actually, we want object entries. So we do for const, you'll get the member ID and the member state of member states members object entries in this thing. And if member state status is equal to inactive, then let's say positions at member ID equal false, we'll do this. If no, not editing. Let's make this true. So if positions this, okay, let's say my member ID, cut const my member ID is this, and so if positions has my member ID, okay, if it doesn't have my member ID, then set my member ID to this. And then we'll do this one by one. So you got all the avatar meshes. You go through every one of them. You see the avatar mesh is this, in which case we have the meta ID, the let avatar member ID is equal to this. But if not positions avatar member ID, then do this. And then finally, delete any key that is 0. So maybe let's not merge this. Let's make a blacklist. So say let blacklist equals new set of string, and we'll do blacklist add member ID, and then if blacklist has member ID, my member ID, is that the only option? Blacklist dot has or has. Okay, if the blacklist doesn't have, then put in positions. And same with this one. If the blacklist doesn't have avatar member ID, then you put into positions. And then you can just return positions. Okay, so we create a set of string, go through all the member states. If the status is inactive, then you can't move to this person because they're dead. Now we might need this again for attacking front. Okay, so this is fine because it uses get all avatar head positions. Get all avatar head positions, which will exclude those that are inactive. And then Yeah, so that should make him leave you alone. Um, let's try it without the respawn. So let's comment this out. Go into Chrome. Alright, comes after me. Gonna kill me 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm dead. How come I'm not dead? Okay, something happened with this. Okay, I'm never getting the announcement that I'm dead. And I'm also getting this, okay, let's try this. Restarting the server. It's just moving around. Okay, so if I'm on the floor, it can come get me now. I should have a health of 100. Let it attack me a couple times. Let me see what my health is. I get 1, 2. Okay, I saw an error. We need to see what that is. Okay, I couldn't see it. Okay, let's try it again. Couldn't get me. One. Alright. Now I want to see what those red errors were. Errors were found at the given arguments. Error not found. Space channel line 34. Cache member damaged. First argument is not an atom. Alright, so you got into this part and you want to do get state. The member ID from member states. Okay, so that gives you, I think, this maybe, error not found. Okay, so something about how we're storing, how we're updating the state is incorrect. So I want to check out something. And this all comes from handle in on this event that a member was damaged. Okay, maybe it has to do with the way we're passing this in. Oh, we don't hand it in from the front, do we? Huh? No, we do. Member damaged comes from the front. Member damaged. It's going to go through here. It's going to go through cache members. Okay, but you only send the atomized event about with P. So you go down to here. Member damaged. Previous state. So can we get the previous state? So IO inspect previous state label previous state. With that. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so it's going to attack. Okay. The previous state is already error not found. Okay, so something. Okay, what happens before member damaged? Well, what is the space now? If we go get this ID, space ID is this, and we go space server. Tell me about members. Member states. Let me go state space ID, and you have member states, so member states, and then let me try to read from this, which is the XR utils member states to map and space server state space ID member states empty map, which is fine. So in space channel, if we say maybe this isn't set, the member states isn't set, get state. Let's look up member ID. Okay, you're looking up a member ID. That might get you not found. Okay, ETS lookup. I need some ID. Okay, let me avoid getting attacked. And just see what my state is here. Okay, so how about now? I have no state. Oh, okay, wait. No state in here. Now let's do, hold on, what's my space ID? Is it 02 EE06? Yeah. So then space server state. How about member states on space ID? Okay, so I'm not in the space. What about the pause ruts? Member movements. How about member movements? Member movements. Okay, I do have a presence in member movements. I don't have a presence in member states. And why is that? We should have gotten a entered. Okay, so if I'm the first person to join, I want to handle event. I'm going to process. Okay, I think I may have broken something when I fixed this, allegedly fixed this thing over here. Let's not do a no op, let's crash. You get an error, you need to insert them, right? Because you can't look up. Start everything. Member movements and member states. Okay, now I'm in there. So what was I testing? I don't remember. Attack me and one, two, three. Okay, I want to see what my member states is here. Okay, I got attacked it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It died. It ignores me. Yay. Okay. Even if I get in front of it, it will ignore me. And if I respawn, so let's do a respawn. Scene manager died. And we'll just say, how about heads up display message? So signal hub local emit HUD message respawn in respawn in 5 seconds. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I've respawned, but it's still not attacking me because, let's see, I'm active. Okay, but does my front end think so? Member states. Members says I'm inactive. Yes. Okay. We need to listen for a member died, says it inactive. What about a respawn? Respawn is not here. Yeah, it's not here. And he's back at it. Let's make a respawn in 10 seconds. 15 seconds. Give you a moment to relax. Okay. I think this is mission accomplished.